The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We got markets in positive territory right now. S&P's up by 3 points. You see the acceleration right during the program yesterday, right? We accelerate to almost a price point of 6,100. You bounce throughout the day, and we're pretty much right where you were at the end of the session yesterday. And the S&P's up by 3 points at 6,139. NASDAQ 100, we actually get above where we were yesterday, coming into the open, right where we were. What did I say yesterday? We got a two-way market in this market, right? Kind of indicative of what I'm talking about yesterday. You dive down 250 points plus, and where are we to start the next day? Right where you were again, okay? Up 77 points right now in the overnight session, or 0.4% in the positive. How about the Dow? Yeah, United Health is what's doing that one. Now the Dow, UNH, that's a move for you. The Dow is a price-weighted index. We've talked about it many times. Price-weighted index makes 0 sense. If I was ever a high school finance, they don't teach finance technically in high school, right? They teach econ. If I was a high school econ, finance, whatever, math, even you can be a high school math teacher, and I said, here's an index of 30 stocks. Tell me the best way to decide how this index moves. Is it market cap weighted? Is it etc.? And somebody said, you know what, I'm going to choose the price of the stock per share. What would be your first reply? Your first reply should probably be, but wait a second, the share price actually is meaningless. Why would you weight the index off of how the price per share moves when all that really matters is the market cap? It's a price-weighted index, and I harp on it because today you have United Health down $60. When you have a $500 stock in the Dow trading negative, you got problems in the Dow. And the Dow is going to be off 207. And yeah, they got a probe having to do with Medicare out there for UNH. We'll get into that later in the program, but that is weighing down the Dow dramatically. You're below the lows of yesterday. Dow off by 0.5%. Russell up by 0.7%, almost right where you were yesterday as well. Crude, we back off a bit. We just spiked lower. Not sure what hit the tape right before 9 a.m., but nonetheless, crude just drops below where you were pre-market. You're at 71.59, down by 90 pennies. Gold makes an all-time high yesterday. We back off a bit. Gold off by $9, or 0.3% at 29.47. Silver, negative 9 pennies at 33.39. You jump to notes and bonds. Technically flat right now. You're looking at the 10-year at 109.05. The 30-year up by 4 ticks at 115.05. We jump over the dollar. And how about the move yesterday, right? That was the biggest move in the market, man. We were on our way to almost a 105 handle, and you might be on that way today. This is a decisive move. Pay attention, man. This is the biggest move happening in this market right now. S&P's near all-time highs. That's a move worth paying attention to. But in terms of longer-term impact, we have a rollover here. And you break below this 106 level, there's nothing in the way of 100, which is remarkable. And don't think it can't go below there, folks. Okay? Don't think it can't. You go back, look where we are on the dollar. We haven't known anything like this kind of dollar strength since almost the year 2000. You have the dollar at 70. Imagine that. We were just at 115. So, approaching a critical area though, right? You put it on a weekly, and yeah, you don't have to be a master technician to realize you break below this level we're at, man. It's usually a one-way trip right to 100, or that thereabouts. You got to a price point of 100.617 at the end of 2023. You got right down to 100 in the middle of 23. You got right down to 100 in September of 24 before you really ripped higher from 100 to 110. Nonetheless, 106.60. Keep your eye on that dollar index. You jump over to the VIX. You talk about market strength, man. Very little volatility premium built into this market. That was the yen rollover debacle when we all came back from the weekend. Markets down, limit 5%. Yen rollover trade unwinding. VIX spikes to 65. We get the spike on December 18th as well. nonetheless, we're just chopping around at 15.31 right now. Very little volatility premium. So, United Health, let's jump into it, man. Look at this run. Up to 630. That's a daily. We put it on a weekly. You're right back to where you were chopping around. And where are we going to open? We're going to open testing the lows. Now, you back this up, okay? Look at this equity. Where are we going to open right now? 440. I'm going to show you 440 on this chart. The low from April of last year is 436. There is nothing in the way of 300. And you're going to open at 440. $140. There's nothing in the way. This is a straight trip, let alone being a straight trip from $27 in 2010. The only pullback in 2019, you had the COVID pullback as well. Remarkable, man. Now, the story over here. Where are we? Did I not even pull it up yet? It's everywhere. Yeah, there it is. It's on the front page of everything, rightfully so. When you drive the Dow down that much yourself, the U.S. opens a probe into the Medicare billing. Yeah, and you get several major insurers following, of course. Justice Department investigating UNH Medicare billing practices. Yeah, the Journal reported it. Probably why it's right on the front page of the Journal. There it is, the exclusive. A series of articles in the Journal last year showed that Medicare paid UNH billions of dollars for questionable diagnosis. Attorneys with the Justice Department as recently as January 31st interviewed medical providers named in the articles. And they own the largest U.S. health insurer. Yeah, and a sprawling network of other health and industry assets, doctor practices, large pharmacy benefit managers. And I'll tell you, folks, there is a problem with how it goes. I got great insurance, fortunately. I've had a series. I had brain surgery less than a year ago for a tumor, okay? And what's remarkable is even myself, so I've had tumors, I've had a brain tumor, thankfully nothing to do with cancer. They just had to go in, get it out. So for some reason, I can have non-cancerous tumors, okay? Things happen. That's, nothing more serious than brain surgery, right, for a tumor. I shouldn't say that. A lot of things more serious because it's non-cancerous. They go in, they get it out, you recover at least. Times when I'm doing this, right, I'm dealing with neurologists, neurosurgeons most of the time. Many people dealing with neurosurgeons, they're dealing with a lot worse ailments than benign tumors. And yeah, it's a benign tumor that I had, folks, the size of like a strawberry in the middle of my head. Talk about blowing my mind away. Point being, though, with that type of a history, okay, if I want to get an MRI for anything, it is amazing how difficult they make it to do anything. Okay, they want you to go see an ultrasound first, then they want you to see. It's almost impossible to get approved, even if your doctor tells you that you want something. You see how there's problems, man. Then you go, that's not even talking about the billing practices and overbilling, but it's a broken system, period. Even myself, with the means to provide, with good insurance, you should see the obstacles I face on a constant basis of just using the insurance I pay for. So, not surprising that there might be unscrupulous actions going on. But nonetheless, it's going to be an interesting one today, man. Yeah, because they're opening right at the lows that we've been trading at. For United Health, you're going to open down, and there's nothing in the way of $300 to $200 on this equity trading lower. Dow off 203. We'll be right back, folks. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. S&P's up by 5. NASDAQ 100 up by 87 right now. The Dow getting dragged down by United Health. And yeah, it may be even worse than it's looking like right now, folks. Okay? Because you look at some of these articles. Now, this is going back to the article of today. This is today's article from the Journal talking about the DOJ investigating Medicare billing practices at UNH. And they go through some of the anecdotal bits that they've had from prior reports. Now, last summer, okay, the Journal also reported UNH added diagnoses to patients' records for conditions that no doctor treated, which triggered an extra $8.7 billion in federal payments. You understand why people are flipped out, man. People should be going to jail. Now, this is the article that they're linking to there from July of 2024, a Journal article. Insurers pocketed $50 billion from the government. So insurers billed our government using taxpayer dollars or debt for $50 billion for diseases no doctor treated. I remember reading this one. And I remember reading this one. Let me see if, yeah. The 1-hour nurse visits that let insurers collect $15 billion from medical. Look at all these stories, man. Okay, and then you got a $400 billion medical company just fleecing the government. These visits, you're talking about, all right, this one do it, it brought me there. $2,735 per a visit. per visit. And what happened is that this all ties together. The untreated diagnoses stemmed from sources including in-home visits by nurses. Okay? Yeah. $2,700 per visit. Yeah, so there's a lot to dig into there. So there's going to be, yeah. And there's people who, in those articles, right, getting interviewed. Nurse practitioner interviewed January 31st by Justice Department interested in the company's software. They have software that suggests diagnoses, okay, up in this article. This is the Journal. I'll share this article in the Den. I got to get to the part that they actually talk about. It's going to be up here. It's worth pausing for this one because you got to hear. Here we go. Doctors said United Health trained them to document revenue-generating diagnosis, including some they felt were obscure or irrelevant. I don't understand how this isn't criminal, okay? The company also used software to suggest conditions and paid bonuses for considering the suggestions according to doctors. And they're talking about that what they're doing is anyway, it speaks for itself. There's a lot to unpack on UNH. Dow's off 206, and yeah, that's going to be a big one, man. All right. Let's take a look at this one for our man Baseball in the YouTube Tigers Den. FTAI, small cap. Popular small cap among the indexes. Let's see. Maybe a little shady. Let's dig into it here. What do we got going on? FTAI Aviation. What do? Own and acquire aviation and offshore energy equipment for the transportation of goods and people. Aviation leasing and aerospace products. You're talking about a company valued at $14 billion. Not bad. Let's take a look at this chart technically. What are we doing with this, Baseball? Whew, look at that chart. You talk about some volatility. Well, hey, right away, where's the volume on this equity? That's a dicey action, man. That's a monthly. Let's drill it down short term. So what do we got going on in January on this equity? 40 million shares, FTAI. Well, geez, I follow my dad's timing the trade system of price and volume. And it's tough to get excited about an equity that drives down with 40 million shares. Somehow you catch a bid on almost 40 million shares the week of January 20th, and you're now accelerating higher on 10 million shares, right? I'd be careful with that one, man. And, when I say be careful, folks, on equities like this, I mean, short term, you go back to the daily, okay? You're gapping higher today. What do we got going on today? Let's see. Resolving short seller allegations. Is that what's going on? After a thorough and comprehensive review, we've determined that the assertions made in the short seller reports, so they had a big short seller report coming out. The audit committee and full board continue to take seriously our responsibility to FTAI shareholders. The company also reassured investors that it plans to file its Form 10-K on schedule. And that is expected 5 days from right now, February 26th, after the market close. And that's going to include their financial results for the fourth quarter and the full year 2024. So keep that one on your radar. Next Tuesday, Baseball, you're trading it after the market. They're going to come out with their 10K. They'll come out with their numbers. And we'll see. But yeah, you got a gap higher after they're saying that, guess what? The board looked into it. And whatever they were talking about for the short seller, but guess what, man? I'm always a little skeptical of that type of volume, that type of drive. You're drifting higher on daily volume of 1 million shares, 1.9. You're going to catch a bid yesterday of 6.2 million shares, and today you're going to be basically flat at 144. But volume-wise, technically, yeah, it's quite a run up. but always something you want to be skeptical of in that area. $14.5 billion company. That's quite a company, quite a value. Muddy Waters had a report of cooking the books. Well, that'll drive the company from 180 to 80, I guess. But look at the volatility even coming into that, right? Last quarter of 2024, this equity, I mean, there's some selling for you. The week of December 16th, well, that's when the whole market sell off. But yeah, we did volume of 11.2 million shares there. You drive higher and then you sell off on that short report. You know, without any fundamental understanding, you look at this chart technically, and that's not that great of a chart. All right, market trailing off a bit. S&P's coming into the open flat at 61.38. NASDAQ 100 up by 72. And yeah, what is up with the healthcare, man? That is just bonkers over and over. 50 billion, right? 7 billion here, there. Hopefully they get that under control. There's a reason why insurance costs are going up, folks. When those insurance companies are billing $2,700 a pop to send nurses for visits for diagnoses that no doctor can treat so they can get payments from the government. How do you cut Medicare costs? Maybe get a handle of the right. It's just straight up crime. It's just crime, folks. Call it what it is. That is crime, okay? Stealing money. American taxpayers, period. United Health, they're down by 60. Dow off by 200. We're coming back for the opening bell. Don't go away, folks.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, reversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are February 14th and 28th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We get markets open, and you get a little bit of a sell-off coming into that opening bell. S&Ps, check it out. We just drive down about 12 points into the open, a little bit of selling, just like yesterday. S&Ps roll over, negative by 5 points. NASDAQ 100, give it up a bit. You just traded off almost 100 points from where we were coming into 9 a.m. As high as 22,245. We're trading 22,160 right now, we'll call it. Only positive by about 20. And yeah, Dow even dives lower a bit. United Health, we jump over. 447, down 11%, or $54 to 448 for United Health. Russell up by 13 points, 22.80 right now. We keep our eye on that dollar. 106.59 for the dollar. All right, we check out some other equities that are moving right now. You jump over to Dropbox. Their numbers last night, disappointing. They're down by 8%, or $2.55. Yeah, we got some tough action here. XYZ, so that's block, huh? Yeah, they miss on the top and bottom line. 71 cents a share on about $6 billion in revenue, and they were looking to make almost 90 cents a share on 6.29. This is a tough-looking chart, man. This $80 area was a critical technical area if you're trading block. And we're going to get some volume today, of course, but you're breaking below that area. Next stock's probably $60 technically on this equity. Jump over to Rivian shares, down by 4.2% right now. Their numbers last night, decent numbers initially, but not sure what they said in the conference call, carrying through. Forecast deliveries of 46,000 to 51,000 units compared with about 51,000 last year. I mean, imagine these companies, right? Growth companies. Rivian, I always like to harp on it. Their company, now how many shares do they have? Check this out. They traded to $180. Yeah, $1 billion. That's what it was. I knew it was simple math. They have just over 1 billion shares outstanding. So right now they're a $13 billion company. Somebody was out there buying them at $179 billion company pre-revenue. Pre-revenue, $179 billion company. Now, even if you don't cherry pick that spike high, you're talking about 2 monthly bars that chopped between $100 and $120 billion in market value for a company that wasn't even producing revenue. And meanwhile, here we are, 1, 2, 3 years later, and they're selling less cars than they did the prior year. Folks, you're not supposed to go from $100 billion pre-market, pre-revenue company to selling less vehicles in 3 years than you were 2 years ago, right? I remember this thing going public and thinking, anyway, that's the theme of the day. It speaks for itself, right? Buyer beware. You're down another 3.4% today, and they come out that, yeah, they are making, for this year, less cars than they delivered last year. That's a tough one, man. All right, you jump over to Coinbase. So the story out there for Coinbase, the SEC, they're dropping the charges. There's a new sheriff in town. Now, if as long as there's some type of regulation, okay, because of course, the cheerleaders are out there. It's an exuberant time, folks, okay? I'm not sure they're all bogus actions. You can be, and that's where the truth always lies somewhere in between, right? Regulations are good up to a point. No regulations are bad up to a point, okay? What they were going after here, which is important to remember, is this the one that lists it? All right, I'll have to find the article I was talking about. Forgive me. The crypto staking program, okay? This is always where things... Anyway, that's what they were talking about, okay? The crypto staking program. And yeah, you have companies out there talking about, the sophisticated financial products that they're launching in crypto, okay? That's where people really get hurt. And that's where the Securities and Exchange Commission, is supposed to protect people when you're launching securities, okay, which is the case they were making, right? Was whether certain crypto assets counted as securities. But the key here is that they're talking about crypto staking exchanges. They're not talking about just selling you some Bitcoin, okay? They're talking about creating complex financial products that people may not understand. They certainly don't understand the risk of on a lot of occasions. And that's what they're talking about. So you go over to Coinbase, and you catch a pop by 3.3% right now. You jump over to Bitcoin shares. Bitcoin trading 99,976 last night. You back off to 98,975. Let's jump over to gold right now. Gold 29.34. You jump over to silver, trading at 33.28. We take a look at some of the silver stocks. I was looking at Pan American. Quite a day yesterday for Pan American. Come out with the numbers on Wednesday night. You spike higher. Earnings call somewhat delivered. Now you take a look at this. I've said this is the strongest silver equity in the gold report right now, folks. All right. There's a couple gold companies in there. There's a couple copper companies, right? Freeport-McMoRan, SCCO, Southern Copper. Okay, but if you're looking for silver, a lot of them look pretty rough. Now Hecla had quite a day yesterday too. But look at that today. Okay. Harmony had quite a day yesterday, man. Giving it back 4.5% today right now. But yeah, Pan American, you're breaking back within this channel line. You're looking for a silver equity, and like I say in the markets, okay, do not give yourself a lot of room here. All right? We got a short going on the market right now in Market Insights, but I'm not giving it a lot of room, folks. Okay, you don't have to give. Even in gold, you don't have to give these a lot of room. You're getting a lot of big moves in the market right now. So if you're trading, you're looking for a silver equity, there's the writing on the wall, man. I'd put it. That bottom trend line, that's where you came into earnings. That's where you spiked higher at almost $26. You got your back against the wall. There it is, right? There's the nice trend line. You break above it. You come back. You test it. If the silver move is real, you got your back against the wall. If it's not real, you break below that channel line. What do? Well, you recoil. You get stopped out, you build a trade again with a risk reward, and you get back in. That's what I would advise you to do. Another silver equity that looks decent, not as good as is that it? MAG? Yeah, MAG. MAG silver. I mean, look at this thing, right? Compared to some of the other silver equities, that's a weekly. Hold on one second. What's going on? There we go. Something's going on. What did I do? There it is. Chart wasn't alone. That's a 5-year weekly. So you're at a tough area from MAG. You're pushing the highs that we had back in the beginning of 2023, right near the highs of 1750, the highs of late 2024. But again, you're looking for a buy. Maybe you put your back against the wall right at that $14 area. You're trading at $16.55. Patience going to be key in this market as we trail off. Same action as yesterday, folks. Be careful. We rip lower on the open. You rip lower on volume yesterday. You trickle higher. You rip lower on volume today. We'll see how the day plays out. The day is young. We check back in on United Health. They bounced to 460 from 437, still down by 8.5%. That puts the Dow off 305. Stay tuned, folks. We'll come back. We'll talk some Magnificent 7. We'll take a look at Tesla as well. Don't go away.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's off by 14, NASDAQ 100 off by 34, and yeah, we keep our eye on United Health. Can't help but talk about it, right? Off by 9.1. I mean, sensational details, man. You know, I can't help but harp back to some of these details when you go over it. Okay, so you have the nurse practitioner, same one in the article, getting interviewed, okay? Department attorneys who were interested in the company's software that suggested diagnoses, and the role of a United Health manager who urged her, who she said, okay, this is a nurse practitioner that works for UNH that's saying a manager used software and urged her to make new diagnoses beyond what doctors had treated. The company, the software that I'll start again. Certain diagnoses the company often suggested, such as an obscure hormonal condition called secondary I can't even pronounce that one, okay? The condition was rarely diagnosed by medical doctors not working for UNH. The attorneys focused on her account of how she was told she could add that diagnosis without a lab test. How is this not straight out fraud? Billions of dollars, right? Now, I try and look at everything with an unbiased approach, okay? United Health said its practices help detect diseases earlier, saving money for the health system, okay? We'll keep an open mind, but do you really think that UNH diagnosing people with an untreatable hormonal condition without a lab test that nobody else diagnoses and then sends nurses there for $3,000 a visit and they bill the government? I don't know. You know, it's tantalizing to say the least. Now, you know, you talk about, and in the Tiger's Den today, okay, PLSHPT. I don't know how you pronounce that name, but they're a great contributor, and they make a great point. Okay, so they 60%. This is A810 this morning, but we're talking about UNH, of course, in the Den. And the quote here is, almost 60% of the combined revenue of the top 5 insurers in the U.S. comes from the government-sponsored health programs, Medicare and Medicaid. Well, to be fair, Medicare is taking care of elderly, which you better believe the insurance payments for elderly are going to far dwarf what you're paying for people when you're insuring them usually in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and even 50s, right? What's interesting here is, okay, the revenue of those insurers, to make this case, has more than doubled since the passage of Obamacare. Well, there's a couple things to consider in this, right? First of all, Obamacare was 2010. It's 2025. Inflation alone has boosted that number by 45 to 50%, right? $1 in 2010, which is interesting. It's just stuff you want to keep your eye on, okay? And we're going next level because it's a great point. I saw that. I said, man, that is a huge number to be up doubling since then. Well, what's $1 worth in 2010? What's it worth today? You make $100,000 in 2010, you got to make $150,000 today. That's it. Maybe 145, okay? 150, simple math. So right away you got 50% inflation in 15 years. And then on top of it, now the quote is there, Doge has to audit, okay? And listen, it's a very reasonable. I love this conversation, okay? Let's keep the politics out of it. This is great. This is real, okay? Doge, audit. Listen, I hope they find, I always say, folks, I look at things now through the lens of Tommy. Tommy just turned 4 years old this month, okay? He's 4, I'm 44, right? 444. What's the world going to be like when he's my age? I'm old. I'm 44. I cannot fathom what it's going to be like in 40 years. I want things to be okay, right? 40 years. So you go out future, you go out big picture, etc. Okay? So yeah, I want the government to get cut. I want to make sure there's a country that he's not paying all his taxes to service our debt in 40 years, okay? But here's the kicker of that part. When you see that type of a number, okay, the plan was passed to provide health care, and this is where I'm just going through the thought process. And this is why, try not to go one side or the other. There's always something in between occasionally, okay? And you think about, so audit. Here's what's going to happen, though. The Doge audit, realistically, you'd have to go so deep to find this. Because this is just straight out fraud by for-profit companies. There's a big difference. And yes, they're intertwined, okay? But this is criminal fraud. And I hope it gets called out. And they're already with the CEO of their health insurer, okay? A sad deal there, to say the least, but they're obviously going to get attention now that they have this going on as well. On the heels of that, the details are pretty tantalizing, folks. And that's the difference here. This is straight out fraud, okay? The government sets up a program and people defraud the government. They're related, don't get me wrong, okay? The government not necessarily incentivized to catch the fraud like we see. If you're a for-profit company and you're paying out payments to UNH to this degree, you're probably going to catch it. So they're very intertwined. But this is straight out fraud. They're just creating diagnoses. Yeah. So I hope it gets called what it is, because if that's how it goes through, okay, then that is literally just fraud. It's financial fraud that usually people go to jail for. You're creating fake bills for the government. It doesn't matter that there's a government program that exists that people may not agree with, right? So you have public health care, Obamacare, nothing more divisive in the last, well, I shouldn't say that, but pretty divisive in the last 15 years for whatever reason, okay? It doesn't matter. This is financial crimes, period. So we'll see where it goes, but market buys it a bit. We're up by, $20 from the low, $4.58. But yeah, I mean, that's straight out financial crime. I've said it many times. But, Obamacare gets a bad rap. I get it. Government gets a bad rap. Think about what would happen on some of those statistics numbers if we really prosecuted financial crimes for what they were when you have insurers like this, and we all pay the price. Crazy, man. All right, let's jump around to some of the Magnificent Seven. Amazon dives lower on the open. We're down by about 0.6% right now. You jump over to Apple shares. They're flat at 245. Microsoft down by about, they're flat. They were higher to 418. You're back to 415.88. You jump over to NVIDIA shares this morning, up by 0.3% right now. Tesla shares down by 0.7% right now. You jump over to Google, down by about 0.1. Let's jump over to some of the streamers. Netflix shares up by 0.3% right now. Disney up by 0.5% right now. Let's check out Warner Brothers Discovery. Yeah, we got a little bit of a bid in this equity going on, man. This might be the turnaround. We'll keep our eye on volume. We need more volume on this move. This is a weekly we're looking at this week. For the move you have, some pretty mundane. And we're probably going to be coming into their earnings very soon, too. Does anybody know when Warner Brothers comes out with their numbers? Yeah, probably very soon. When do they report? Yeah, look they reported a year ago, February 23rd. They're probably coming out with their numbers real soon. I'd like to see a little bit more volume on these numbers. All right, market driving down. Session lows yet again, 22,095 right now. The Dow getting dragged down. We'll just keep calling it by the financial crimes alleged by UNH. Yeah, read those details, man. Dow off 417, S&P's off 23, NASDAQ off 50. One more segment coming back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Dow off 366. UNH taking them down for sure. You jump over to the Dow right now, and everything red. But look how UNH sticks out. And look at some of the prices, right? So UNH is down, what, $50 today alone, okay? You jump around, Coca-Cola itself is trading at $70. This is why it's bonkers. Verizon's trading at $42. The wipeout of UNH today is like taking the entire company Verizon out of the Dow. price weighted. How does that continue to exist? I don't get it. Nonetheless, UNH down dramatically. We take a look at the heat map for the S&P 500. There's UNH as well. We look at some of the winners, some of the losers. A lot of red here, right? Accenture down 3.5%. Yeah, CrowdStrike's got a deal going on, 2.3%. What was going on with them? I was just looking at it. Just talking about it. What was going on with CrowdStrike? No. Nonetheless, let's take a look at CrowdStrike. What's their headline? Yeah, they're investigating their $32 million deal with another company. Nonetheless, you're just back to yesterday's lows. NASDAQ off 42. Much like yesterday. We'll see if we repeat history. But we basically climb right to the same level, and boom, you get a sell-off right on the open, and you're talking about below where we were pre-market right now, 22,100, below where you were. Even at about 3 in the morning Eastern time, NASDAQ 100, Dow off 392, United Health off by 9.3%. Gold contract trading at 29.48, and we jump over the dollar. They're talking about the dollar, rightfully so, and yeah, 106.50. You check out that 3-year weekly, man, dollar breaking lower. Looks like we might be breaking critical area. We heading back to 100? We will find out. Markets in the red. Stay tuned, folks. I'm coming back for the top of the hour market update. We got a replay this hour. Basil's out. Then we got our man, Steve Rhodes, coming up live. 11 o'clock. Fast Market at 12. Larry Pesavento after that. Jacob Shoup this afternoon. Folks, thanks so much. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you back here on Monday, folks. Thanks so much.